Okay, let's dive into something a little different today, but really fascinating. We're cracking open a very specific kind of source material for this deep dive. It's an excerpt from William Boericke's Homeopathic Materia Medica.
Right. And just for context, a Materia Medica, well, like this one, it's basically a classic reference book.
A reference, yeah.
It catalogs different substances and it meticulously details, the specific characteristics, symptoms, and conditions they're reportedly associated with within this particular system of medicine, of course.
Like a highly specialized encyclopedia.
Exactly that.
And the substance we're zooming in on today, pulled straight from Boericke's pages, is ammonium benzoicum.
Also known as benzoate of ammonia.
Right?
And our mission here, really, for this deep dive, is to give you a kind of direct line to the core information in this specific source. We want to extract the key reported uses and the really distinctive symptoms linked to ammonium benzoicum, as Boericke describes them.
Think of it as your shortcut, really, to understanding its profile, but only within this text. And the level of reported detail, it's quite something. The way it sort of paints a picture of effects on the body can be pretty striking. Let's unpack what the source tells us.
Okay, so the source, it highlights ammonium benzoicum primarily in relation to kidney function. It specifically mentions it as a substance linked to albuminuria.
Albuminuria. So that's albumin protein in the urine. Often points to kidney issues, right?
Correct. And the source is quite specific here, calling out albuminuria, especially when it's described as, quote, gouty.
Gouty albuminuria. Interesting phrasing.
Which, connects directly to this second main reported area, gout itself.
Ah, okay.
The source mentions it in the context of gout, particularly where you see deposits in the joints. It seems to kind of link these two conditions within its framework, suggest maybe a shared predisposition in their view.
That connection is interesting. Kidney concerns and gout tied together in the text. Are there other major areas the source points to?
Yes, there's a third key reported use. It's for urinary incontinence, but specifically noted as being in the aged.
Got it. So the main reported uses from this bit of text are albuminuria, especially if it's called gouty, gout with deposits, and urinary incontinence in older people. Now, this is where, for me, it gets really interesting. The very specific symptoms the source lists, the details associated with this substance. What does it actually say?
Well, the Materia Medica gives these characteristic descriptions for different parts of the body. So under head, the description is quite blunt.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy, stupid.
Heavy and stupid. Wow. That's remarkably direct language straight from the source. What about the face?
For the face, the text notes bloated, swollen eyelids, and then it adds swelling under tongue like ranula.
Bloated face, swollen eyelids, and that swelling under the tongue, it groups those together.
Right, and saying like ranula gives you that comparison, that visual of a specific type of cyst sometimes seen there.
Okay. Moving on to the urinary system then. Beyond the main conditions like albuminuria and incontinence, does it describe the urine itself?
It does. Under urine, the description is smoky, scanty.
Smoky, scanty, meaning not much of it, and maybe cloudy or unusual looking.
Seems that way. And it adds albuminous and thick deposits.
Okay, so albuminous ties back to the albuminuria and thick deposits. It really creates a vivid image of the reported appearance, according to this text anyway.
Exactly. And then finally, under back, the description is pain across sacrum with urgency to stool.
Pain across the sacrum, that's the base of the spine.
Right. And it adds soreness in region of right kidney.
So pain there, urgency, and soreness near the right kidney. Again, very specific linked details reported in the text.
Precisely. So what this source does, essentially, is profile ammonium benzoicum with reported associations primarily around these kidney-related challenges, albuminuria, incontinence alongside gout. And the symptoms listed, the heavy head, the swollen face and eyelids, that specific swelling under the tongue, the look of the urine, and the back pain, kidney soreness. Those are the details considered characteristic of that reported profile in this specific text.
Right. So just to quickly recap the main points from this source text, core reported uses are mainly for albuminuria, especially the gouty kind, gout with deposits, and urinary incontinence in the aged. And the characteristic symptoms it lists include things like that heavy, stupid head, the swollen face and eyelids, the swelling under the tongue, the smoky, scanty urine with thick deposits, and that pain across the sacrum with urgency and kidney soreness.
Yeah. And by exploring these distinct points, just pulling them directly from the source, you've quickly grasped how ammonium benzoicum is characterized within this particular materia medica. You get a sense of its reported profile, according to Boericke anyway.
It really paints such a detailed, almost portrait-like description of symptoms, all mapped back to one substance in this text. It definitely makes you think about the process, the observation and the categorization that must have gone into creating text like this. So here's something to ponder. What stands out to you listening to this about the connection between these reported physical details, everything from, say, swollen eyelids right down to kidney soreness, and how they're all grouped together here under ammonium benzoicum? Something to maybe think about in our next deep dive